Hey guys, how's it going? Good morning. Yes, I know, what's this? Another video update so soon. Crazy. Insanity has swept the world. Hey, how's it going? Look, I have my off-brand Dr. Pepper today. Mr. B. uh, oh, sorry, Dr. B. I'm sorry, it's Dr. B. But Mr. B would be fun though, right? Mr. B? Whatever. Okay, it reminds me, a good friend of mine, David Denspear, he was or is whatever he was the game director on the Turok series, the original Turok series, Turok 1, 2, 3. Was there a 4? Probably. Whatever. Anyway, he was telling me a story that before he joined the game industry and had a job at a grocery store. I'm not sure in what context. I mean, maybe in the marketing department or sales or something. Because he was saying that he remembers having a conversation where they were talking about what their off-brand was going to be of Dr. Pepper. This is Dr. B. And they joked about calling it Mr. Pister. Okay, maybe it's not that funny, but I thought it was funny. Okay, it touched my funny bone, so whatever, okay? So, yeah, hi. I just want to do another quick update, let you know where Mutant Mudds is at. Where is it at? So, yeah, still in testing, which is good. So, last week went really well on that. Our fine friends at Nicholas, or Nicholas. Is it Nicholas? I think it's Nicholas, right? Nicholas? Fine bringers of games such as Cave Story and La Mulana. They are doing the testing for Mutant Mudds, which is very exciting. Yeah, so they were testing it last week, and now this week we're focusing on what is called lot check standards, and it's really important stuff. You know, it's certainly not that fun to program for or to support, but it is very important. It's stuff that you would never think so much effort is spent on. It's things like, if you're playing a game, and then you close it, it goes into sleep mode essentially. You would think that that's just automatic, right? The 3DS just handles that, and the games that everyone makes for it, this thing just handles it automatically. No, not the case. You have to make sure your game is programmed in such a way that it functions properly. It's possible. Actually, in early development of games, sometimes you can close this and the game's still running. You can still hear it. It's still doing its thing in there. And obviously that's not the way it's supposed to be. So that's one example. And obviously when you open it back up, it needs to restart again. And it's possible that it wouldn't do that. So you need to make sure that those kinds of standards work, obviously. Because can you imagine if you bought a game and you close it like that, because you're doing something, you open it back up and it's gone. The game's just crashed or it's gone or it's wiped or whatever. Anything could happen. So you need to make sure that kind of stuff is supported and it works. And that's just one example. There's a lot of things that we have to make sure work. And I think that's one of the big differences between games like 3DS games or any console games, I should say. But obviously 3DS is what we're working on. And games that are on PC and games that are on iPhone and stuff like that. These go through a lot of testing. Oh my gosh. I mean, a lot. Just really. Yes, bugs get through for sure. But the amount of effort that's put into trying to avoid that is pretty tremendous. And not so much on iPhone or PC. Those games can go out, and if a bug is reported enough times by the people who are playing it, then a patch can be released and it can be fixed, which is great. Actually, and I guess that can be done on these games now as well. Actually, if there's a big enough issue and it can be fixed, then a patch, I guess, can be sent out. I think, maybe, I don't know. I think so. Yeah, I think someone did it, didn't they? On a game, Ridge Racer, maybe. Didn't they have an update? I don't know. Oh, it did. But anyway, so we're at that stage right now. So we're hoping that this week we get to get all of the lot check standard things all figured out. So there'll be lots of that action going on and stuff like that. And then touch wood, pretty sure this desk is made of wood. I think it is. Touch wood. That on Friday we send it in for what's called a pre-lot check submission, and what that is what it sounds like. Where we get to send it to Nintendo, they get to check it out and kind of let us know if there's any major issues with it, and that gives us a really good chance to see where we're at. We get a report back from them in about a week or two. Probably about a week, I think, for this, on what they found, and hopefully they didn't find anything, or if they did, then great. Now we know it, we can fix it, and then we can do the full submission, the final submission, with confidence that at least those issues are figured out. So timing wise, you got this week doing that, then send it off. Hopefully, excuse me. Next week we'll be waiting for their feedback to come back. Then we'll get it back. Then we may spend, a day or a week then fixing any issues that are found. So that puts us into 3 weeks from now. So we got this week, the following week waiting for feedback, then the following week of doing stuff, and then hopefully by the end of that week, we'll do the final submission. Touch wood. Where does that put us? Let's get my calendar up. So we're on the 5th today. Pre-submission on the 9th, maybe. Touch wood, let's hope. So superstitious March? What's all this touching wood business? Seriously. It's a very stressful time trying to submit things and hope it goes through. Need all the all the luck you can get. Alright, next week spent on feedback. Following week doing stuff from the feedback. So maybe final submission will be in the 23rd of December. Interesting. Right before Crimbo. And then, well, obviously they, have a holiday break as well. But so that will eat into any kind of testing time, I'm sure. Probably not the ideal time to submit a game to them, but oh well. And then it's probably going to be a couple of weeks at least, if not 3, because of that, for them to actually look at it. So 1, 2, if that is 3 weeks, that will put us into. Sorry, 1, 2, 3. Hang on, did I get that right? Bear with me. 1, 2. My calendar's weird. Okay. So the 13th, is that right? Sorry, this calendar's wacky. Sorry about this. 1, 2. Yes, the 13th. Yeah. This Windows 7 calendar's weird. Anyway, I'm just inept and can't use it. So that means we could get approval on January 13th. Or let's see, that's my optimism kicking in there. Or we could get feedback saying it's broken, it's horrible, do this again, which is certainly possible as well. But that's why you do a pre-submission, is to hopefully avoid that. So, best case scenario, well, not best case, but a scenario is that second week in January, between the 9th and the 13th, we could get feedback there on the game being approved or not. And then it would be a matter of and seeing what's in the queue. Games are being submitted to Nintendo, and obviously ahead of us or at the same time as us or whatever. And as they receive them, they'll put them in the queue for release on the eShop. Say if they have 5 or 10 games in the queue, they're not going to release all of those on one day, on one Thursday. They could, of course, and I'm sure players would be like, yeah, it's awesome. But the problem with that is it's hard for any of those games to kind of stand out, and kind of get the attention that maybe they deserve. Because you have 10, and you're like, whoa, I don't know, I'll get this and maybe that, and it's trickier. So I'm not saying that's why they do it, but I think that's one of the things they consider, at least anyway, which I think is good. They try and give games a chance to actually get some limelight out there. So anyway, so depending on the queue, I guess if there's no queue, it could be the following Thursday, which probably wouldn't be the case. Or it could be a couple, 2 or 3 Thursdays from the time it's approved. So if it is approved on, January 13th or whatever, or January 12th, which is a Thursday, it could squeeze in at the end of January on January 26th. Or it could slide into February. be on the 2nd or the 9th of February. Now that's a best-ish case scenario. If we get feedback on January 13th and they say, yeah, no, it's broken here and over there and that bit right there, I'm not sure what that is. Then unfortunately that means we have to fix it and send it in and then wait those 2 or 3 weeks again. Now the good thing is if they run into a bunch of issues and it seems to be mounting up to the point of, okay, we've had it for a week, we're playing it, we've got these issues, this is not going to pass, they will just stop and go, all right, here you go. Take it back, fix it please. So if it's a complete hideous mess, you could actually hear back from them much quicker than 3 weeks. So you kind of don't want to hear back straight away because that means, yeah, it's failed. Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, so there you go. I just want to kind of give you an idea of where it's at because it's kind of wacky. Because even though right now, today, the game's done. Actually, that's not true. We're waiting on one piece of music that we'll be getting tomorrow or Wednesday to sync up with the victory cutscene. Yes, and that is it. Yeah, let me just make sure and clarify in my own brain that is true. Yes, that is it. Game is done. After that is the last thing we are adding to the game. Let me done. And then just fixing bugs and all the rest of it. So anyway, yeah, so that's kind of how it works. It's kind of wacky. I know, I mean, even the game is kind of finished now-ish. You know, as you can tell, it doesn't mean it may be released 2 months from now. Weird! Just because of how it works. So, yeah. That's it. So there you go. The game's nearly done. Very exciting. Very odd. You know, to think that in June of this year, when I took it to E3, you know, we just had 3 levels, and that was it. There was easy, medium, and hard. That was it. And now we have 40 levels, and it's done, and it's pretty badass. Actually, I really like it. Really, really cool. So yeah, we should be having. Oh, let me know if you've seen the preview on Nintendo Life or the preview in Nintendo Power. Because obviously they're out, like I mentioned in my last video blog. And we should be getting some more previews coming up soon. And then potentially a review in the next issue of... Was it the next issue? Next issue of Nintendo Power. Is it the next one? Whatever the issue that's released in January. You know, they're so, you know, they have such a big lead time on when they're actually released versus when they're actually made. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, the next issue will be coming out in January, right? Because I just got this one in December. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So I guess they're working on that now. So yeah, so the January issue should have the review of it, which is cool. And then I would expect would have some online reviews sometime around that time too, which will all be glowing, of course, saying, "Wow, this is amazing! 9 out of 10. Please give me more. This is the best thing ever." Almost. I mean, it's a 9, so it's not 10, but almost the best thing ever. You know, near perfection. So cool. All right then. That's pretty much it. So I'm gonna sit here with my Mr. Pista. And carry on doing some work and stuff. Planet Crashers, still finishing that up. And I've heard that maybe Face Racers comes out tomorrow. I don't know. I haven't heard. It's not an official word from Majesco. I just saw it somewhere. I'm not sure where exactly. But, so we'll see. I don't know. Woo! Weird. All right, cool. Well, you have a wonderful day, and I will catch up with you soon. All right, take care.